Next up, we have Baris, Kacar, Chief Sales Officer. He's going to be focusing on how the business is continuing to focus on customer service excellence to deliver better, improved service and increase savings. So please do welcome Baris to the stage.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for you made today, for despite all the difficulties that we are facing out there today. Now, imagine that we did not exit the EU, or we didn't have the COVID or pandemic. What if we didn't have the war right now in the middle of Europe in the 21st centuries? Do you believe that? Do you think that we were, or we are today, would be talking about in a healthy or steady economy? I guess that we probably would not know the answer to this question, but what we all know is we are going through the exceptionally tough and uncertain economic time. Last time when we met, we were talking about all these factors and how they are affecting our reducing our the demand in the market, or how it's weakening our sales activities then. Since then, I'm afraid things did not get better. Actually, it got worse. Now, when the COVID restrictions are lifted, and we thought that, actually we hoped that unrestricted trade would drive the market and help all the sectors to recover quickly. However, the war or increasing energy prices and inflation, it actually increases the uncertainty in the market, in the economy. On top of that, the cost of living and increasing the cost of the labor is actually deter the market recovery. Right now, the market researchers estimating the current value of the eating out market, roughly around 295 billion for 2020 year. This is roughly 4% ahead of 2019 level. However, the inflation is outpacing the growth in the market. So what we are seeing here is actually is a negative volume growth. So let's look at this, how these factors are affecting our business, how these factors are affecting consumers and the restaurants, which is in the center of our businesses. Now, looking at the situation from the consumer's perspective, that UK households right now feeling the pressure on their budgets more and more. The rent, the mortgages, energy prices, the food, all increasing. And right now, many households plan to cut their luxury spendings, like entertainment. In our case, going out for the eating. And they are basically trying to focus on their basic needs. And all these factors, of course, is affecting the consumers, and they forcing them to change their preferences when it comes to going out and eating out. Now we are seeing more and more consumers now going out less frequently for eating. However, when they go out, they are spending more money, more. And another thing is they're looking more affordable, low-key lunch options or breakfast options. However, when it comes to dining, they are they tend to spend more. And consumers, they more like to eat in rather than ordering the takeaway. And it seems that quick service restaurants are losing their boost, which they gained at when the pandemic time. And finally is the consumers, they are looking more diverse ingredients and the flavors. And when it comes to the food, they are more conscious about the food they are eating or the service they are getting from the restaurant's owner. And when we look at the business side, the restaurants, they're pretty much battling with the similar factors in the markets. They're battling with the energy prices, they're battling with the food costs and so on. And on top of that, they also struggling with the skilled employees, skilled staff. And another factor is they're struggling with the staff turnover. And on top of all these things, the consumer demand is weakened. So considering all these things, at the moment, the restaurants are looking at with all these factors, plus the consumers' preferences are changing. These are all forcing, or these are all affecting running the business, running the restaurants more and more costly, so that they do not have any option to push any price increases back to consumer, or back to the customer, basically. Now, when we look at that, the businesses or the restaurants now passing all the cost increases to consumer, and as a result, the consumer demand is getting weaker. It's like a circle. It's like a dilemma here that we are seeing that. Now, how did we perform with these kind of environments? How did JJ perform? How we are doing at the moment? Prior to for last financial year, we always see the small but steady growth, but last financial year we hit that around 270 million pound revenue turnover, which is a really great result. It is around 22% increase comparison the year before, and we do also have the similar increases on our gross margin. Gross margin is rose by around 36%, and our customer base also increased around 5.65%, again comparing with the year before. Now, looking at all the factors affecting the market and so on, we set our target for this year is around 280 million pound turnover revenue target, which is around 3.7% increase we're expecting. And we are on track to hit this target now. Now, I just want to talk a little bit about the customer satisfaction. Our customers are in the center of all our activities in JJ. And we try to serve them efficiently and constantly with the products they need, and when they need, and how they need. And we believe that we are good at that. However, we decided to measure this satisfaction. They decided to put it on the numbers, and also to understand what exactly and what's the position of our customers are. So we asked them to write the feedbacks to us. We asked them and we divert them to Google platform, and we said, okay, just please write what are you thinking about us and score our services. And I'm so glad that in a short period of time that we received around 4,800 five-star reviews. The people, they tend to not to write the good things about when it comes to giving the feedback or so on. They tend to write the negative things always about the service and so on. And if you look at the ratio, how many of them they are writing the good review, maybe 1 in 10 or so. And considering this, the 4,800 good review, five-star review, it is a really, really good number. And that gives us the courage to carry on to do what we are doing. I think we are doing our strategy is good, and we're going to carry on doing with that way. Now, last year we had a great result, and this year we're on track to hit our target. So, however, we are heading right now the more challenging times. So how are we going to stay ahead of the game, and how we're going to what growth strategy we're going to follow? As the prices are growing, as the prices are rising, and the disposable income is diminishing from the household, and the value becomes ever more important to customers, consumers, and the restaurant owners. When I say the value, I'm not talking about actual price of the product. I'm talking about achieving the optimum combination of the whole price, availability, service, and the quality. This optimum combination is what at the moment consumers and restaurant owners, they are looking at actually. And as a JJ, these 4 pillars are in the core of our strategy since 2016, which is also a Brexit. And we are always, since then, we are aiming to provide the best quality product with the most affordable price and with the highest possible service standard to our customer whenever they need and wherever they need. Now, another thing the strategy we're going to follow, as we concentrate on our core business, existing our businesses, we also always look for the new opportunities. And full-service restaurants is one of our focal points since last year, and we saw this during last year, around 5% increase on that one. And our focus on this sector is going to carry on. And we also see great potential on the leisure centers and the theme parks. And as I mentioned before, the leisure center is one of the, the key area, is the best performer of this year. However, our main focus is going to go for the local authorities, the contract, especially the educational sector. We want to go after every possible opportunity, every possible tender available this year and coming years. And to do that, we are right now expanding our team, our existing team, and creating a much bigger team so that it's going to give us a chance to to concentrate on this sector, this area more and more, and we will be able to target every single tender opportunities. And finally, as always, we're going to carry on expanding our JJ branded product and adding them new product opportunities and new products to our current range. And finally, we will try to retain our existing business, and while we are retaining that, we also increase the basket. And that's it. Thank you for your listening. Hope you enjoyed that.